Hello everyone, thanks for joining us wherever you are. I'm Gulo from Jadi PNS, will be your host. This talk show is a collaboration between Jadi PNS and UNESCO Green Citizens Initiative. Now we are with Joséphine Nakakande. She is Executive Director of the Environmental Conservation and Agriculture Enhancement Uganda, or known as Eco-Agric Uganda. Hello Joséphine, how are you?
Hello, Gulo. Glad to meet you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm so grateful and humbled to be part of this meeting. And a very good evening to everyone who is listening in. I'm in Uganda.
Thank you so much. You're very welcome, Josephine. Josephine, how did your project, Eco-Agric Uganda, begin?
Eco-Agric Uganda is a short form for Environmental Conservation and Agriculture Enhancement Uganda. Eco-Agric Uganda is a community member-based organization established way back in 2007 and aims at sustainably improving livelihoods of the critically vulnerable and absolutely poor people in Uganda, who are majorly the women. And when we are supporting these women, we always look at women-headed households, the widows, the women who are facing gender-based violence, the women who can't access the basic services like education. They are always illiterate. Their children go to school, do not have scholastic materials. Some do not go to school, and they do not have food maybe, or when they have food, they have one meal a day. So those are the people we serve. Now we serve those people majorly because of what we went through. Eco-Agric Uganda was established by community members led by 4 people, and I'm one of them. I'm the current executive director, but I worked as a volunteer, the project coordinator, programs manager, until I became the executive director, and I'm looking forward to my exit. Now, when I was still young, I'm a daughter to a teacher and a housewife. So my father was a teacher and my mother was a housewife. Though my father was a teacher, my mother worked hard to supplement my father's income. And what she did was farming, sustainable farming. And it is out of the sustainable farming that I was able to stay in school. Otherwise, my father's income was not enough. We are 8. We are 4 girls and 4 boys. So we are 8. And at one time, 6 of us were in secondary section and we needed a lot of money. So my mother ventured into vegetable growing. She grew vegetables like cabbages, carrots, eggplant. So those vegetables supported her or supported us at home get income. So the principle of Eco-Agric Uganda is supporting people, majorly the women, get involved in sustainable farming so that they are able to support their household members, since I'm a product of that. This is not any different from the other members with whom we started Eco-Agric Uganda. So we use that principle because that is what we saw working, and that supported us to support other people, do farming as a source of income. That is why we looked at sustainable farming as a way of supporting these people improve their livelihoods.
Wow, that's amazing. Great job, Josephine. And then why did you choose to focus on subsistence farming? And why of mushrooms specifically?
We looked at sustainable farming. One, we promote using locally available cheap materials. The people we work with are illiterate. They do not have income. They are poor. we majorly refer to them as people who are in the middle of nowhere. If they have some land for agriculture, it is always very small land. So we looked at sustainable farming or organic farming because there are so many things to reuse. When you grow the beans, you reuse the materials for mulching. They can be used for growing mushrooms. So that is why we looked at sustainable farming. And with mushroom farming, the mushroom farming promoted by Eco-Agric Uganda is growing mushrooms using locally available cheap materials. So with only 100,000 Uganda shillings, a woman can start getting involved in mushroom growing for income, even with less. So that is why we looked at mushroom growing. And with mushroom growing, we do not need land. There is increased population in Uganda currently. So people do not have land to do commercial maize or commercial beans production or coffee production, but mushroom growing can be done in a very small space. Even when someone is renting, she can get involved in mushroom growing by putting a small shed behind the house where she's renting. And leaving that alone, we are promoting mushroom growing using sawdust, which is easily available, using bean husks, maize husks, coffee husks, things that we dry banana leaves, and these things are picked from our environment and used. So here, someone, in case a woman is getting involved in this activity, she will have to just spend money on getting spawn, hence low cost of production.
Wow, Joséphine, that's very interesting initiative. And can you tell us about the key principles of organic farming taught through your sustainable farming training?
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you for this time and the guided discussion. The principles that we majorly use is reusing what you have used. For example, when you grow the beans, the bean husks are used in mushroom growing, and after growing the mushrooms, the residues are used in tree planting or mulching. So using crop residues is one of our principles. Then we also promote agroforestry and using legumes. We also promote contract soybean growing, whereby the women grow soybean, and with the soybean, it adds nutrients into the soil, and the residues are also used in mushroom growing. And in case we have some animals like the rabbits, we also promote using the manure as organic manure in mushroom growing. We also make green manure and use organic pesticides in our crop production, and most especially crop rotation, whereby that is the way we do our pests and disease control. So we use green manure, we use crop rotation in pest and disease control, we use crop residues, we also use some animal manure like in rabbits, whereby we use it in as fertilizer.
That's interesting, Joséphine. And how does your project, Eco-Agric Uganda, also support environmental conservation?
Eco-Agric Uganda supports environmental conservation, first of all, by training all categories of people to plant trees. We train the children, we train the women, we train the elderly, everyone, we train them in tree planting. Currently, we have 2 tree nursery beds, and these nursery beds, we produce tree seedlings that we distribute to the different people to grow trees. And we majorly promote agroforestry because the people we work with have small pieces of land. So we produce tree seedlings, and the tree seedlings that we produce are indigenous trees like Musizi, Muvule, Rivelia, Terminalia. So the indigenous trees are planted so that they can add fertility into the soil. And we are working with a company. There is a company called EP Carbon that is supporting us to help these farmers that have planted trees start earning from the carbon credit. I just pray that it is successful. So we would like these farmers to also benefit from the carbon credit so that they do not cut the trees. They keep the trees so that they conserve the environment. So we are so much into tree planting, and with the support from EP Carbon, we would like to get someone to support us plant 50 million trees in 7 years. That is our target. We would like to plant 50 million trees, but currently we have planted 75,000 trees in 2 districts of Uganda.
Wow.
So that is how we promote environmental conservation, and it is a big part of Eco-Agric Uganda.
Wow. We are really proud of you, Joséphine. You've been doing a great job.
Thank you so much.
And then, Joséphine, please give us an example of how these trainings have impacted community livelihoods, especially those of women.
Now, through mushroom growing, women have been able to buy scholastic materials for their children. They have been able to buy food, and some of them have bought assets like saucepans. From contract soybean growing, some have been able to build houses. They have also paid school fees. Majorly, it is paying school fees for their children and keeping the children in school. And with the tree planting, some of the women did not have firewood. But these trees, for example, Musizi, it matures quickly and the branches are being used as firewood. So, and also in these tree nursery beds, we work with the children. So these children, the children are supporting us in producing the seedlings. We collect the seeds locally, and when we collect the seeds, we are able to work with the children who produce the tree seedlings. So that is one of the ways we have benefited, or the community, reducing on the land wrangles. It is a lot more. Thank you.
Wow. And last but not least, Joséphine, what advice would you give to people out there who want to make a difference in their communities?
Community involvement is very important. Involving communities right from the beginning of the project, in project design, project implementation, and project monitoring is one of the most important things, because the communities tend to own the project and ensure a success. Currently, I'm from a group. This group was formed in 2015. Currently, we are promoting mushroom growing with them, and we've just given them 1,600 tree seedlings. We'll be giving them more. But because they were involved right from the beginning, their group has been in existence since 2015. So community involvement is really important. in project design and project implementation. And then also being like the community, being passionate about what you do. Honestly, I'm just in love with everything that I do. I love to plant trees. I love the mushroom growing. I love vegetable growing. And most of all, what makes my day is going out to meet those women. And we share and we talk our womenish talk. That makes my day. That makes me happy. Meeting with the girls and we speak the same language really makes my day, really makes me happy. So those are some of the things that have supported me to keep doing what I do.
That's amazing. What you just said make my day and make our day.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is such a pleasure. Thank you so much, Joséphine, for sharing your inspiring story about Eco-Agric Uganda.
You are most welcome. And just in case someone listens, we would like to plant the trees. We need their support. And yes, let each person that listens to this story help us plant a tree.
Yeah, yes, thank you. And thank you, UNESCO Green Citizens Initiative, for this talk show collaboration. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. Let's collaborate to make this world a better place. I'm Gulo from Jadi PNS. Thank you and see you again.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Thank you so much for listening. May you be blessed. Please keep smiling and keep the environment green.